Welcome to today's episode of Ripple Effect. I'm Parker.
And I'm Haley. Today we're talking about a subject that touches millions of lives: addiction. It's something that doesn't just affect one person, it sends shockwaves through entire families and communities.
Often face emotional pain, stress, and even financial hardships. Parents may lose trust in their children, and children might grow up feeling confused, neglected, or even unsafe.
You can see it in small, everyday moments: missed family dinners, broken promises, tension that hangs in the air. Relationships that were once full of love can become filled with fear and uncertainty.
Addiction changes the rhythm of a household. It's like a storm that keeps circling back. Family members might try to help, but they often don't know how, or they blame themselves when nothing seems to work.
Exactly. And what's heartbreaking about that is many families suffer in silence, afraid of judgment from others. The stigma around addiction can make it hard for people to reach out and get the support they need.
But it's not just families, entire communities feel impacts too. Addiction can lead to higher crime rates, job loss, and an increased demand on health care and social services.
Schools are affected as well. Teachers notice when students come to class tired, distracted, or acting out because of what's happening at home. It's a cycle that can be harder to break.
And neighborhoods can lose their sense of safety and connection. When addiction becomes a part of a community's reality, people start to withdraw. Fear replaces trust.
But here's something we have to keep saying. Addiction is a disease, not a choice. It's not about weakness or moral failure. It's about brain chemistry, trauma, and mental health. And understanding that changes everything.
Absolutely. When communities come together to support recovery programs, mental health care, and education, that's when real change begins.
Think about programs like community recovery centers, school counseling initiatives, or outreach groups that help people find treatment and housing. Those efforts don't just save lives, they restore hope.
And we've seen what happens when communities rally around recovery. Take small towns that have started peer support groups or local employers who give people in recovery a second chance. The results are powerful: low relapse rates, strong local economies, and a great sense of unity.
Because when one person begins to heal, it creates a ripple effect. A parent in recovery might reconnect with their children. That child might do better in school. The family might then volunteer to help others. It starts to come to a full circle.
It reminds me of a quote: addiction isolates, but recovery connects. Every person who finds their way back is proof that compassion and community can change outcomes.
And sometimes the first step is just listening, really listening to someone who's struggling, without judgment, without trying to fix everything right away. Just being there.
It's about rebuilding trust, finding purpose, and feeling seen again.
Recovery is possible, and healing starts with understanding. When families replace judgment with compassion, trust begins to grow again.
Communities choose to support instead of stigmatize. We all become stronger. Addiction may break connections, but recovery rebuilds them.
Every act of kindness, every story of perseverance, every person who refuses to give up, it all matters. One person's recovery can spark hope in another, and that hope can spread through families, neighborhoods, and communities.
So whether you're someone in recovery, a loved one who's supporting them, or just a part of a community that wants to help, remember, you can be a part of the change.
Healing doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. One step, one choice, one person at a time.
Thanks for joining us today on Ripple Effect. If you or someone you love is struggling, we've linked some resources in the show notes where you can find help and support.
You're not alone, and there's always hope.